Hello, come join me on the floor of my bus. It's an offer you don't get every day. And nor me, frankly. But anyway, that aside, I have been doing a lot of thinking, a lot of planning, and I've decided that some internal items have to go. Not from me, from the bus. And one of them is structural. Dun dun dun. And once that's out, there'll be no turning back. Hello. Yes, last time I was taking these panels, the lighting panels, out downstairs. This is upstairs now, and they've all come out, but they've got a metal panel behind them, but still it's part of the ceiling and it's flat and flush, so I'll just put a cover over those, so that's great. But I'm now not going to take these tracks out after all, because they're all held on with screws actually, which I don't know how they got in there. I haven't got the right tools anyway, and can't get the angle grinder in, and I can't be bothered, is basically the fact. Plus, the LED strip lighting that I'm thinking about using is and it comes in very small, and it comes in all sorts of shapes, and it would stick actually under here. I don't know if you can see that, I'm doing bad camera work, but under here in a sort of diagonal, and create light along there, which might be quite nice. And that'll be a flat surface pretty much then, apart from these two bars. So it already feels taller upstairs because of that. So without wanting to take any of these panels out, it seems like a good option to take those out, because it takes that height for me anyway, especially as I'm pressed up against it. And I have to do a sort of Mrs. Eiffel toast along here to get to the other end otherwise. So this way it does feel rather roomy. Maybe roomy is going a step too far actually, but it has got that sort of feeling to it. Also there's another track. Let me just take you down here. Oof, God, can't multitask. Down here there's these tracks which had the seats bolted onto them before. Again, they're all riveted on, hundreds and hundreds of rivets. But in fact, I'm going to leave those because I need to panel between here where there's a lip to here anyway, between these two lips. So that'll add some insulation as well, but also just be nice. Can't have this industrial look all over the bus. I think I do need something a bit softer and a bit more gorgeous. A little tongue and groove perhaps, we shall see. So yes, but otherwise it's getting quite clear up here. I'm quite liking it. I'll start marking things out soon. Exciting. But there are three troublesome things that need to come out. Upstairs above the driver's seat there is this, which is his or her or their heating, I guess. I guess aircon, I don't know. It doesn't matter what it is, it's coming out. And but it's literally welded to the floor up here in the most disgusting way as well, because there's absolute filth. I don't know if you can see that, but there's filth in this bus, and then there's filth. And this is and then there's filth. So, but I've been assured now that I can just angle grind it out. I'm obsessed with angle grinding things out. Grinding things out. It sounds a bit saucy, doesn't it? So that's coming out, which will be great, because then it'll create this sort of space here, which will be for stuff. Further adventures with an angle grinder mean that I've taken all the doors off these compartments, and that had the CCTV. I don't know what that had in it, frankly, down there. Sorry, forgot to tilt the camera, that one. And there's a big panel here, which I'm assuming has some sort of electrics behind. I don't know. There's one here behind the driver's seat, which does have all the electric stuff. But as we won't be really using any of that, that could come out too. But I'm actually going to leave that for a bit, because that terrifies me, because there's so many wires. And I don't want to do something that immobilizes the bus. But the real terror that is yet to happen, which has got to happen, I'm afraid, is that this, look at me walking backwards. If I trip now, it'd be hilarious, wouldn't it? This thing has to come out, which is the wheel arch, obviously wheel hub. As I think I mentioned before, that one's staying, but this one, as I've decided, has to come out. Down on the floor there is the heating for the downstairs thing, and that can come out, and I've already started prizing bits off that. But this one I'll show you if I can. Hang on, let me see if I can multitask. So there's a, what do you call it, like an inspection something or other? So that there, metal there, is actually the arch just above the wheel. So the wheel is literally there. But that does mean that this piece of this wheel hub, it's terrible camera work, isn't it? Where's my DP? It can be cut off. And then I can make a flat surface there, I think, which would be great. I'm going to cut this thing out completely, so that'll give me the ceiling to floor height for something, like a fridge freezer. Because this is the kitchen area. Welcome to my new kitchen. It's lovely, isn't it? It's very minimalist and very dirty. So that's coming out, and that has to be, oh, that's an angle grinding job. But that calls for the big angle grinder, the one I can't use. So I have to wait till the cavalry come and do whatever you have to do. I have a feeling it's going to be messy, probably dangerous, and probably wouldn't recommend it, but it's got to go. I want it out. Determined now, it has to come out. So I'll see you on the other side of all that, if we survive the toxic plastic dust that will undoubtedly be released into the atmosphere. Sorry about that. As Todrick Hall would say, brace yourself for the big reveal. Yes, so as actually we predicted, that was a fuel tank behind there. Of course, where else would it be but thrilling? Nonetheless, a bit rusty, a bit disturbing, but also shows the pipes in the corner. You can't quite see those green pipes that are up to the vent above the driver's seat, which I should be taking out, and then these holes now uncovered rather, where I'll make them into little cubby holes. It's exciting, isn't it? So here it is, taken out, the whole wheel hub. There we go, it's all done. Right down to this thing, which is the sort of wishbone chassis underneath that's kind of cross-bracing as well, the bus, so obviously I can't take that out. But that's pretty much how far you can go down to this metal frame, which is above the wheel, and cut all that thing off. So it already opens this space out, actually. If I come up here, you can see it sort of opens out the back of the bus a bit, really, and that can create a flat top over there. I'm going to keep this side in because I don't want to rip out the side of the bus, but I'm going to put the new, if you can imagine, the new countertop there, which maybe even higher, because I'm tall. I need it to be quite high up, and normally kitchen units are a bit too low, and I'm a bit sort of too soups over everything, which is so good for the old back at my age, darling. But if you are planning to do this, the heating system, number one, is under there, and the other heating system is above the driver's doings, which I'll show you a bit in a minute. But the lesson to learn. We assumed when we turned off the stopcock that's around the engine on this side, the back there, that it would turn off the whole system, but it turns out it's two different systems. So we turned off upstairs only, it turns out. So when we cut these wires down here that you can see, these pipes rather down here that you can see, it started emptying out the system. No big deal really, it's just water and antifreeze, but still, just so you know. In case you're planning to do it anytime soon, before you rush out and get your angle grinder, turn off both stopcocks, and the other one is in the side door by the fan belt. I'm not ever going to need this information, but if you do, now you know it, right? So hurrah. So I'm looking forward to that, and I have to get the joiner in to build a frame around that, which I'm very excited about. I feel I've rather left you hanging with that last piece about where the second system is, because I know you're absolutely dying. You won't be able to sleep tonight if I don't tell you. Face it. So here we're at the top, at the back of the bus, on the top deck, and behind this panel under the seat here is the access to the pipes which come out of those two holes there, which fed the heating duct that was here, which ran the full length of the, oh, I can't show you because I can't do around the full end of the bus down there. I don't know if you can see because I've pointed the camera vaguely in the direction, but you know what I mean. In fact, next time you're on a bus, do you go on a bus? Go upstairs. On the left-hand side, if it's a 2002 Cummins Alexander 400 or whatever this is, then you'll see this big long heating duct underneath, and that's fed by those pipes, which have their own separate stopcock. It's quite hard to say. So now you know. It's thrilling, isn't it? I knew you wouldn't be able to rest until you knew. So upstairs, the final part of the three things that need to come off is this vent box above the driver's seat, which is heating, I think. So angle grinder at the ready, safety goggles over my glasses. It's a look, isn't it? What do you think? Think it'll hit the catwalk this year? I think so, frankly. So, last but not least, vent box out, and then the space will be clear. I'm so excited.